I don't know where your rental is. I'm just enjoying my coffee. Obligatory disclaimer. On mobile, English remains a second language, still on hubby's account. While my husband collects IDWHL incidents like a politician collecting bribes, I only have 3 on my own. This is one of them. This happened in the spring of 18. My mother had traveled abroad to visit one of her relatives, so when she was flying back, I went to get her. We live about 3 hours away from the airport. Because our oldest was recovering from a stomach bug, hubby decided to stay home with the kids and I would get my mother and bring her home. My mother's flight was scheduled to arrive at 13:15, but when I got there I found out they had a 2-hour delay and I had to wait. I thought, all right, I enjoy a coffee while I wait, and notified my husband. The weather was good, low 20s Celsius, with no clouds, and decided to have my coffee on the outside patio of a coffee shop. I grabbed my tablet and, because the airport is a bit windy, a yellow windbreaker, and apparently that was the problem. I was reading my book on my tablet, enjoying my coffee, wearing my yellow windbreaker, when I heard a "Hey you." I didn't think it was directed at me and continued reading. Then I feel someone looming above me and "I'm talking to you." I looked up to see a man looking down at me. The following exchange happened. Asked, Me, done. Chad equals entitled asshole. Karen equals entitled asshole's wife. PO1 and PO2 equal police officers. Me, yes. Chad, where's my rental? Thinking that he was asking where the rental companies had desks, I replied that they were on the other side of arrivals area. Chad, okay, be a good employee and bring it here. Me, I will certainly not do that. I don't work for the rentals. Chad, yes you are. Now go and get it. Me, no. The thing goes back and forth like we are 4-year-olds when Karen inserts herself in the conversation. Karen, honey, what takes so long? Chad to Karen, this employee here doesn't want to bring our rental. Karen comes and grabs my windbreaker's lapel and put her face uncomfortably close to mine. Karen, listen, you little bitch, me and my husband are very good clients. I don't care if you're on your break, but if you don't bring the car in 3 minutes, we will get you fired. Me, extremely pissed at that point. Listen, bitch, take your paws off me or we will have trouble. Karen, oh, you threaten me? Oh, you are so getting fired. At that point, she swings her arm, hitting the coffee, spilling it on the table, missing the tablet, and on me. Me, standing up. Fuck off, bitch. Go find your own fucking rental. Karen, at that point, slapped me, while her husband was screaming obscenities. I flipped and slapped her back, which initiated a fight. When the initial argument began, a couple of bystanders had taken notice. The shouting had attracted a crowd, and when the fight started, somebody called the cops. 2 officers came and separated us. PO1, what happened? Chad, the employee refused to help us and then attacked my wife. Me, I don't work here, you dipshit, and your wife attacked me. PO2, madam, language please. Karen, I want to press charges. PO1, okay, all of you are coming with us. We ended up on the airport police station. One officer went to get the manager of the rental company and the other reviewed the tapes with his boss. The rental company manager verified I wasn't an employee. They were white shirts and black ties and a lanyard with their access ID. I was wearing a colorless t-shirt and jeans. The cameras verified the attack. I pressed charges and left to get my mother.
Lady snapped at me to get off my phone while I was picking up decorations in a different store while on the phone to my boss. Okay, so this happened a few years ago at my first job. I worked at a games arcade in a large shopping center, and I loved it. Started there when I was 15 and worked there till I was 19. I ended up getting all my school friends jobs there, and I was very close with the boss. It was like a little family. We had these black and grey polo staff shirts, and we all wore lanyards with the keys on it for convenience. Keep this in mind. Anyway, I think it was like one of the last years I worked there, and it was getting around mid-October. So my boss gave me some money and asked me to go buy some decorations from the dollar shop down a few levels and spook the store up a little bit. As someone who loves Halloween and decorating and spooky shit, I was thrilled to do this. Unfortunately, when it comes to spending someone else's money, I'm super paranoid about getting the right thing. So I get down to the store and spend like 10 minutes umming and ahhing about what to get her. So I decide to call my boss and just run him through what I was thinking of getting for the store. And as I'm explaining to him, this middle-aged lady comes up to me, clearly not very impressed. Excuse me, I need some help here. Surely staff shouldn't be on their phone out on the store floor in front of customers. I turned around, took the phone down from my ear and said, "Oh, sorry, but I don't work here." And holy fuck, it was the funniest thing ever. I reckon she shit her pants right there and then. After using the tone and shit to me and then realizing I didn't work there, it was fucking brilliant. She apologized and then walked off afterwards, and my boss heard the whole thing, and I got back to the store, and we had a good cackle about it. To be fair, though, I was in a work uniform and had a lanyard, so I can understand her confusion, and I would have felt bad for her if she hadn't been a cunt about it.
Confuse a Karen. I popped into a local shop yesterday for bread and milk and a few other bits. It's fairly cold, so I am in my outdoor coat, hat, and gloves, and look nothing like the sales staff. I was searching for bread sauce when I hear a throat being cleared noisily nearby, and a very brusque, impatient lady's voice saying, "Excuse me." I think to myself, it's the dreaded Karen, and I recognize that voice. This one I'm pretty sure I've met before. I know that saying "I don't work here" won't work, but this gives me an idea, a little experiment, if you will. So I turn to her and say, "The manager, just the person I wanted to see." She looks at me with a priceless expression of confusion, mouth silently working as she tried to think of a response, and says relatively meekly, "But I don't work here." I reply to her, "Don't you? Oh, well, I do apologize, so what do you want?" Nothing, and walks away looking like the walls of her mind had just collapsed. I'm using this one again. At bread sauce link.
One of my supervisors tried calling me, and after I quit. Some years ago, I worked at a place that rhymes with McNaldo's. No, the place that sells heart attacks as food and advertises it with an ugly clown. Anyway, I worked for them for 6 grueling years. In those 6 years, I've got hundreds of stories, but this one stays with me since it was the first one to happen right after I quit. First off, my reason for quitting was that they wouldn't accommodate my one simple request to leave through an alternate exit due to my abusive ex waiting for me in their lobby every day. Every day I came to work in an Uber to avoid walking into him, and every day he'd come and order something and sit for hours staring and glaring at me until my shift would end. He would then follow me outside the door and try to harass me while I'd get into an Uber, only to then show up at my apartment to keep threatening me or to break windows. I begged them for a solid month to just let me leave through another door to get a head start to my ride, and every single time I'd get some bullshit answer. And they'd tell me I was overreacting. I basically got sick of constantly wondering which day would be the day he'd come in there with a gun. And I told my supervisor if she wouldn't let me leave through an alternate exit, then I'd quit. She laughed in my face. Let's name her Mary. About a week later, after I called, left a nice resignation letter to the big boss, who totally understood. And after dealing with unemployment, I get this phone call. It's Mary, the supervisor. Me? So when are you coming in, Crepe Suzette? Because you've been gone about a week and we're short-staffed. I know the other bosses let you do whatever you like, but I'm putting my foot down, girl. You better be here in 45 or you're fired. Remember the last time I worked with you? See, over a week ago, but you can't keep playing these games, girl. This shit isn't cute. Your little girlfriend hasn't been here either, so you can calm down now. Yeah, and I told you that since you couldn't accommodate my one request, I would quit. Even collecting unemployment already. So, are you coming in or not? Because if you're not, I'm writing you up, and I'll make sure you never work anywhere again. Mary, I don't work for you. I quit, and I'm literally collecting unemployment as we speak. What don't you understand? Yes, you have 30 minutes. Fine, I'll be there. Obviously, I didn't go in, but I did block Mary's number. and had the time of my life greeting random coworkers she would send to my house to try and get them to bring me into work. She was nuts. My coworkers just got a kick out of getting paid to walk 35 minutes to my house and chill. The ex was taken care of legally eventually and have since moved, but memories of that conversation always remind me of this subreddit. There are circumstances where you can get unemployment even if you quit your job. Domestic violence is one of them. My workplace became an unsafe environment because my abuser would literally wait for me there, follow me there, or follow me after my shifts to mine or my friends' houses to harass me, or attack my friends. I let management know about it in an attempt to try and make my workplace safer by asking if I could leave through one of the various back doors we received deliveries through. My head boss said yes, but several supervisors would not let me leave through these doors when she wasn't around and claimed I was overreacting or that my abuse wasn't real. I quit due to working in an unsafe workplace, but I made sure to explain to my head boss and even write in a decent letter of resignation. She understood, and we even agreed she wouldn't try to stop me from getting unemployment.
Did you recognize all of the voices? You can leave your guesses in the comments.